Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. I can hear you.
Excellent. Hi, Fred. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Awesome. So, are you preparing your trip to Dallas?
No,
Wonderful.
I'm busy.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, I have the book here. I bought it a while ago. Do you mind if we show it? Is that okay?
Yes, let's show it.
Okay, wonderful. I'm sorry. Go
That
ahead.
that beautiful 2010 book. Oh my goodness. I love that book. It's my favorite book.
Actually, it's funny because you on your website you actually advise people to buy first the Parallel Universes of Self and then this one as well, right? So I might ask you also: is there a reason? Why do you carry it in your heart so much?
Because I meant to write a book about everything to see if it's possible to write about everything that applies to everything for anyone at any time. And I achieved that. It was a lifelong dream. Started when I was a teenager, and that dream was achieved with the book. So I went and I tried to get all of psychology, psychiatry, religion, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all of that plus New Age, okay, all of that plus science, and fit it into a single book so that it fits together and makes sense. Because at first sight, none of these building blocks were provided fit together. Okay, and I said, how could I get them to fit together? What model would make everything fit together, and what would help people discern between not good and bad, okay, black and white thinking, but 1,000 levels of good and bad.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I actually was going to start the conversation differently, and I was going to stop recording, but actually, I'm going to leave it like this because it was just beautiful. the way the way we got into the conversation. If you are fine with this.
I'm completely fine with it. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's. I didn't know we started recording, So I guess when it's natural, it's the best.
Exactly. So let me introduce everybody here. Well, this is Angel Rebo. As you know, I'm a CEO consultant. I'm also a TV host. And more importantly, today, the most important thing is that I'm a personal fan of Frederick Dodson. And uh, and I actually was very nice because I discovered him through a friend, and I started buying his books. And we're so happy that we're gonna have Frederick Dodson with us in July, from July 26th to the 29th, here in Dallas, Texas, in the United States. First, let me introduce, Fred, to the all the audience, for everybody that still doesn't know or still don't know, the people that don't know you yet. So, what do you think? What would like you to say? That your website says that you're a success coach and you are also a consciousness researcher. Is that accurate?
I call myself consciousness researcher and reality creation coach. Yeah, it's a self-definition. It's not a degree you can get at college. I didn't like the options I had at college, so I studied myself, and I've been studying raising energy level, and emotional level my entire life. And all that is encapsulated in this 3-day course I'm giving in Dallas in at the end of July. 30 years of research put into 3 days of experience. It's going to be out of this world. Absolutely amazing. I'm you asked me if I'm preparing the course. I said no, but I will prepare it. I'm actually going to write it. Um, I've been doing the course for 10 years, but I want to rewrite it. I want to write it in a new way based on new information that I've received. And the whole idea is that everything you experience, every single problem you have, every goal you have, is a matter of energy. And that's why it's called levels of energy. And people say to me, "Oh, that's such a vague term. What kind of energy is that?" You new agers always use the word energy. It's nothing specific. It's blah, blah, blah. But not the case at all. That's if we want to focus, we need a certain level of energy. If we want to be kind to people, we can't do any of that if we're exhausted. Okay. And that's one way to understand energy. If we're exhausted and preoccupied and in a bad mood, so it's a mood raising thing. If you don't want to call it energy because that's new agey, then call it mood, raising your mood, raising your passion and your enthusiasm and your ability to act. That's what energy refers to. Levels of energy, raising your consciousness, which is also such a vague term, but I try to make it very specific. Raising your consciousness is a literal thing. I mean, what are you conscious of? There's 1,000 things you're not conscious of. And if you raise your consciousness, you become conscious of so much more. And there's more to become conscious of about anything. And of course, if you're conscious about all kinds of stuff, that's going to raise your success.
You mentioned 30 years of research, but it's also 30 books. I don't know if you've published any other book lately, but last time I counted, it was 30 books. Is that accurate? 7 languages?
Yeah, probably more books. Some of them are no longer in print. Some of them are penned anonymously. Some of them are in other languages, probably around 50 books. But right now in English, there's about, I think, 28 books out, actually. Yeah.
What took you to be who you are today? What made you become the reality creation coach, Frederick?
Suffering, no. Working with loads of people. And, I got thrown into this fairly early, into coaching. I already coached when I was 20. Now I'm 45. So that's 25 years of working with people. And as you work with people, you learn what works, what doesn't work, what makes them more happy and rich and whatever, and what doesn't. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So it's the work with people every single day since I'm 20 years old.
And when you were working with these people, did you very early on started to talk in terms of energy?
I felt in terms of energy, but I tried to avoid terms because my early students in my 20s were all business-based. It was business-based coaching, language-based coaching, NLP-based coaching, uh, the mechanistical, non-spiritual view of the world. And eventually I realized I can't do it without I can't help people effectively. I can, but it takes much longer without introducing some spiritual component, some form of energy, something non-visible, which is actually at work. So I would say for about 10 years, I coached people without all those terms. And then I came out of the closet to say what it's really about.
Was there something specific that made you get out of the closet at that point in time?
Well, I'd known it for a long time, and I thought, why do I keep censoring myself? I'm just going to start saying more of what I can see, the patterns I see and the energy I feel from this particular person. I had a strong intuition where I could, make various predictions about a person. And what do you call that? Well, traditionally it's called intuition, but you can't measure that in a laboratory, and it's not officially recognized. But I thought, who cares? I know it. I don't know how I know it. I know this, and I know this, and I know this. And it's a matter of growing up. I just grew up and stopped caring what people think, It's an adulthood. In my 20s, I was trying to fit into the concepts and models that were already there, and it worked, but it didn't work as well. And then at around 30, I started with reality creation. That was about 15 years ago, calling it reality creation and levels of energy. levels of consciousness, and I started developing that, and it worked much better, and it was much more fun.
How are the levels of energy related to reality creation, Fred?
Well, you're at this level of energy or consciousness, things happen more smoothly, less effort. Things
I
manifest, and success comes about more smoothly. You can actually measure that. A person's level of enthusiasm and zest is directly linked to their health, directly linked to their level of employment or unemployment. It's so obvious. Okay, you don't have a passionate person sitting around in apathy, being unemployed and saying, "Oh, I don't know what to do," you know. It's a direct correlation. Moreover, when I'm energetic, I don't get sick. I have been sick in a long time, and I see that with others too. So there's a direct link between energy, consciousness, and success.
as soon as I knew that you were coming to Dallas, as I live in Dallas, I went to my, a bookshelf and I took the book, and then I also did something else, which is I went to Amazon and I started to read the reviews, and I would like to just share them with the audience.
Oh,
The titles of if is that okay?
absolutely. Yeah, good idea.
So they say profound, the quintessential energy manual, fascinating metaphysics. Love this book, a fresh look at improving your perception of the world. 5 stars, a useful primer on spirituality and enlightenment. Awesome read, excellent book, massively breathtaking and awakening. Those are the titles of the reviews on Amazon right now. So with those, with knowing this, so the people that come to your course on July here in Dallas, 2019, what are they going to see? What are they going to see? For instance, let's say if it's 3 days, what are they going to see? Different days. What are they expect going? What can they expect?
Yeah, well, a book is a book, and that's information. And it's like the difference between um, reading about a certain meal and actually eating it. Information can only go so and so far. So it's about sharing energy and experience and about feeling it instead of knowing it. So there's knowing it, that's what you get from books, and then there's feeling it and experiencing it. People can expect to feel it, to go out of the course and feel it. My aim is actually that after the course, the real course starts, that the trajectory goes up. So they enter the course like this, and then after the course, it just keeps going upwards. Because my experience is that they come to the course, they go up, and then they slowly slide back down. So I've tried to figure out a way how to stop that and how to make it so that it's like learning to ride a bike, where you don't lose the skill. You don't lose the skill of riding a bike. You have to just get it once. So my job is to provide different games and exercises and interactions that allow them to learn riding the bike and get it once properly, so that they never have to learn it again, and they don't have to go home after the course and practice and be disciplined and monitor themselves, because it's inside them. That's the trick. Every course I've been to, and I've been to many, it's always like, okay, if you want to keep this, you really gotta monitor, and every day you do this practice and this practice and this practice. That's not the way it should work. That's not the way life works, because who has the time to do all of these practices? And that's a problem with the book too. The book is chock full with practices. Who does them? I don't do them. I sure don't do them. I don't have the time to do all the practices I wrote about myself. Luckily, I don't need them, because I know how to learn the bike, how to ride the bike. So the question is, what are some basic, essential things to know to own the bike, so that the bike is yours, so that the consciousness level is yours? So we want to target high energy and consciousness levels. And what is it that I do and others do in order to maintain those fairly effortlessly without crazy discipline? There's only two ways, either crazy discipline, I mean, otherworldly, mad discipline, or um, you install it into the subconscious. And we want to try to install it into the subconscious so that it's second nature, it's effortless, it's normal.
And that's what is going to happen on the live course in Dallas, here in Dallas.
Yes, that's what my intention is for the course.
And who is this course for? If you have to describe it, because you said you've been 10 years doing it. So who do you think is a great candidate for the course?
Well, frankly, it's not for everybody. It's for people who are already at a fairly good level of consciousness, already stable income, already good health, already a fair amount of success, to be honest, because if we don't have a basic level of comfort, it's going to take longer than 3 days. It's going to take, months. So I do a course that takes months. If we're going to do 3 days, I'm trying to pick up people who already know it all, have seen it all, who are experienced and fairly well off. They might have a few issues here and there, stress, problems, But I recommend it for people who are already in a good place because we can take them to an even better place. Now, in terms of energy levels, I'd say if on a scale from 1 to 1,000, I'd say 300, 400, 500. That's who the course is for. 300, 400, 500. So if you see consciousness on a 1 to 1,000 scale, if you're a 300, 400, 500, the course is good for you. Now, if you're in a state of depression or mental illness or total poverty or you have cancer and you're trying to get a solution, I don't recommend the course because it's not enough time. It's 3 days, okay? But 3 days is perfect, is enough for people who are in that range. Can you follow? Does this make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, I've read your books and I'm familiar with those energy levels and those hundreds, depending on where everybody is. Maybe if someone doesn't know exactly where they stay at or at what level they are, is there a way for them, easy way for them to guess where they are?
Well, most people are between 100 and 400, okay? So this covers 80% of all people. So most people are going to benefit from this course.
Wonderful.
If you want to know whether to come or not, see how you feel about what was said here. And if you feel good about it, think, wow, that's interesting. The course is for you. That means you're at the level where you can receive it, So it's a matter of, wow, that's interesting. Then it's for you. On the other hand, if you're full of doubts, and I don't know, can I afford it? Well, then don't come. It's okay. Come another time or read the books.
So, Frederick, anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Anything else that you would like to make people aware of before they come and meet you personally in Dallas?
No, because there's a bunch of videos out where they can get to know what I talk about. I'd like them to be aware of, not of me more, but of themselves, to know themselves, to know yourself, to know who you are and just what your potential and power is, what your thoughts are, what your emotions are, what you're capable of. If you calm down and take your time and expand your awareness, you're capable of so much more. If you expand your thinking and your imagination, you're capable of so much more. So get to know yourself. There's nothing you need to prepare for the course. All the preparation is on me. You come to enjoy yourself and have a good time. The course is not troublesome or traumatic. I don't do those kinds of processes that are common in the self-improvement psychology new age field, confrontational and traumatic issues you go through. No, none of that, because I want to have a good time, because people have enough trouble in daily life as it is. I want to have fun, and through fun and joy, we can expand and grow.
Beautiful. Again, this is Frederick Dodson, that he's here with us. We're still in the month of May. He's going to be here in Dallas for the Levels of Energy course. We still don't know the venue, right? We're going to know it later in the month, probably. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're researching different venues right now.
Awesome. Beautiful. And, this video is going to be shown in, all my media outlets, and other people are going to share it with their audiences as well. So, Frederick, thank you very much for, being with us today, for sharing about you coming to Dallas, and you sharing so much, and for allowing the people to have an experience, for the people who are ready, as you said very well. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be with us today.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk about it. Thank you, Angel.
Absolutely.